Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. Here's the latest news about your Social Security benefits, SSDI and SSI payments, and of course, a fourth stimulus check that might be approved very soon. And if you guys believe that the IRS and Congress must send out those fourth stimulus checks, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Now folks, while the US economy is slowly recovering, many businesses are finally beginning to reopen, which has led to a surge in consumer spending. Less and less Americans are being laid off, and that is amazing news. The Commerce Department just reported that retail sales jumped 9.8% in March, so the US economy is definitely picking back up. Thanks to Americans finally receiving their $400 stimulus checks, the IRS has already distributed hundreds of billions of dollars worth of stimulus money since the beginning of the crisis. So I'm really glad, everybody, that the US economy is recovering. It is clear that another round of stimulus checks would help the economy recover even more. Joe Biden's American Rescue Plan creates a new tax break for millions of workers who received unemployment benefits last year. And it's really awesome news, everybody, if you file taxes. Until now, jobless insurance had to be reported as a taxable income, and many would likely own federal income taxes on those benefits. But now, according to tax experts, many taxpayers are now required to pay taxes on up to $10,200 of unemployment benefits. But folks, here's what you have to know about your Social Security benefits, and of course your SSI and SSDI payments. It could be addressed in the next relief package. Despite a Democratic majority in the House and Senate, there could be obstacles to getting the major Social Security reform approved. Folks, Democrats proposed their own legislation aimed at shoring up the program. And another proposal from Senator Bernie Sanders also aims to increase benefits for low earners while raising taxes for those with higher wages. But the bill must require 60 votes in the Senate, which means that the Democrats must get 10 Republican senators to sign along the bill. Everybody, what do you think? Do you believe that our politicians in Congress will increase the Social Security benefits by $200 a month? Now personally, folks, I think that raising the minimum wage is a good idea. Millions of Americans could really benefit from the increase. Progressive lawmakers will definitely support a minimum wage of $15 an hour. However, Republican lawmakers would also need to support the provision in order to get it passed and made into law. Now, I also noticed that many of you guys have been forgotten about by the IRS. Some of you guys have not even received a stimulus check. Well, according to USA Today, if you are eligible for a third payment but never receive one, you can claim the recovery rebate credit on your 2021 returns next year. If you are left out from round 3 because of your 2020 tax return has not been submitted or processed in time, then you should be able to claim a credit on your 2021 taxes. I know that claiming the recovery rebate credit is not ideal, but the IRS has not provided any new updates on SSI, SSDI, VA, and survivor beneficiaries. They have not gotten a third stimulus payment yet. It is really upsetting to know that so many of you guys are being left out. But everybody, a fourth stimulus check would definitely help so many people. Millions are still struggling financially, and it has been over a year since the crisis has started. The US Census Bureau has shared that almost 30% of Americans could not cover all their household expenses in late March. About 18 million adults are still going hungry each month. Lawmakers must find a way to take more action for the good American people. The continued economic fallout is why many lawmakers are urging Joe Biden to include recurring monthly checks and automatic unemployment insurance extensions in his long-term infrastructure plan.
And my concern, of course, is that the president's approach to this has really been my way or the highway. And if that's an option people have, I think most Americans would choose the highway. And I certainly would. And we talk about roads, bridges. That's what people think of as infrastructure. It helps them get to school, get to work, get home again. But what we've had proposed by the White House is what I believe is a slush fund for liberal spending. And if you take a look at the red box here, that's the amount, $2.7 trillion they're proposing, and you have only $115 billion for roads and bridges. Roads and bridges, a very small portion of this entire amount of Democrat spending on what they're calling infrastructure. So we know what Americans want. They want safe roads. They don't want traffic jams. That's why roads and bridges are what people think about when they talk about infrastructure. But that's not what the president is talking about. He's talking about something the American people aren't talking about. He's putting more money into electric vehicles. You take a look at how much money is set for electric vehicles, $174 billion for electric vehicles. There's more money for electric vehicles in what he's proposing than there is for roads, bridges, highways, ports, airports, and waterways combined. That's what the Democrats are proposing. They really want to do away with the internal combustion engine. That's their goal. The good jobs that are related to those things, they're trying to give Americans less choice. The other thing that electric vehicles do not do is they don't pay into the highway trust fund. People say, well, raise the gas tax to pay for this thing.
For more now on what infrastructure spending could mean for the muni bond market, let's bring in Nisha Patel, Director of Fixed Income and Portfolio Manager at Parametric. Thank you very much, Nisha, for joining us here. The muni bond market is key for so many of our viewers and listeners out there because they are looking for that tax-free income. Take us through what's driving the muni bond activity today. Is it the infrastructure optimism?
It is. And year to date, we've seen tremendous flows into municipal bond funds, into municipal bond products. Muni bonds have outperformed the respectable taxable counterparts pretty considerably, particularly in the high yield space. And I think a lot of this demand, it's driven because of the prospect of higher taxes and certainly the certainty that taxes are not going to be going down from here. Now, if you take a look at the infrastructure bill, one of the key components here is on how it's going to be paid for, which with certainty, corporate tax rates being raised is one kind of aspect of that. Now, President Biden has mentioned individual tax rates going up, but it's not directly tied to this infrastructure bill. But even for corporations, which hold about 20% of municipal bonds, which is not very well known, if their tax rates do go up considerably, I think you could also see them coming to buy more municipal bonds.
Is it strictly because of the prospect for higher taxes in this infrastructure plan that's driving the muni flows, or could it be other factors as well? Say maybe some of the projects and plans that could go into it. What exactly does that whole trade kind of look like in your mind?
Yeah, so if you take a look at the details of the bill, obviously, given that the main proposal or the main bill really is for infrastructure, a lot of money in that breakdown is for transportation, is for clean drinking water initiatives, is for affordable housing. A lot of this overlaps with municipalities and the type of debt that they issue. And so, one of the key components that we're looking out for is how exactly does this affect supply? There's no doubt about it that municipalities will have to play some role in this. However, do they roll out some sort of a program like they did back in 2010, where there's a subsidy that municipal issuers receive to issue a loan under this new program? Or are they receiving some sort of another incentive?
Benefits, not cut them. Our job is to strengthen Social Security, not weaken it. Let's be clear. Social Security is the most successful government program in our nation's history.
One lesser known Social Security rule is that all filers are eligible for a single do-over in their lifetime. This means that if you filed your benefits early, you may have a chance to undo that filing and sign up later, all the while locking in a higher monthly benefit in the process. If any of you guys found this video useful and helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell.